Today, I'm going to talk about 5 crucial habits that will triple your fat loss results. Habit number 1, never let yourself get too hungry, especially if you're out of the house and you don't have access to food. So let's say you're stuck in traffic and you are starving. So all you can do is sit and daydream about delicious food that you could be eating. So then by the time you get home, you're so hungry that you don't even care if what you eat is in line with your goals. You just want to eat anything and everything. So then what happens? You end up eating an entire family-sized bag of chips while you're trying to decide what to eat for dinner. This is how it always goes for me, at least. So for that reason, I always like to make sure I have a little something on hand. So that could be some granola bars, or a little baggie of carrots, or it could be a protein shake, a protein bar, just a little something to hold you over. That way, you're not as hungry and you have better self-control once you arrive home, which we have done now. We're home. All right, so those little snacks, they helped, but I'm definitely still a little bit hungry. And we all know that good decisions are not made when you are hungry. So when you're already hungry and you don't know what you're gonna have for dinner, you might accidentally order takeout and have hundreds of extra calories. This brings me to habit number 2. It's a really good idea to get into the habit of meal prepping and meal planning. And I definitely don't mean some crazy long extensive meal prep with hundreds of Tupperware and plain chicken breast and broccoli. At the bare minimum, at least know what you're gonna eat, and then you can have some of the ingredients ready to go. So cut up veggies, pre-cooked protein sources, little things like that. I explain this in more detail in my video, What to Eat in a Week to Lean Out, No Stress, Easy. And it also comes with a free meal planning guide, and it is called Knockout Body No Stress Meal Planner. So if you would like your copy, click the link in the description box below, and you can get a free copy of the meal planner. So now that I'm done dinner, I think I could go for a dessert or a little nighttime snack, which brings us to habit number 3. Don't skip dessert. Remember that you can indulge your cravings in moderation. It's super important to actually enjoy how you're eating. Because sure, we've planned out all our meals, we've been so prepared, but if you're like me and you get sweet cravings after dinner or in the evening, rather than telling yourself that you can't have anything, which often eventually ends up to you having really bad cravings and overdoing it, instead, we have some calorie-friendly options that are ready to go, because this time of day definitely is a really easy time to kind of ruin your hard work from the rest of the day. It's really helpful to eat things that are high volume, which means that you get a lot of food, like a big serving, but for not a lot of calories. So some of my favorite snacks that are high volume, low calorie, they're all sitting right here. So first one is if you can get air popped popcorn with an air popper machine. These you can find cheap on Amazon. Like, this isn't like some crazy purchase. And it's just, you can get them lower. You can make it kind of healthier and put your own toppings on it, so it's easier to control than, say, when you buy like a bagged microwave one. So that's one really great option. This isn't necessarily high volume, but it's super yummy. Popsicles. These are 60 calorie fruit popsicles, and I freaking love them. What I do sometimes is I'll dip them in this light whipped topping, and it tastes like a creamsicle. It's like, oh, but you have to be careful not to have too much whipped topping, otherwise you're gonna overdo it. And then another thing, so speaking of this light whipped topping, it's low calorie and it tastes like ice cream. It's freaking delicious. I've mentioned this in other videos. I'm obsessed. You can also put it with sugar-free Jell-O. This is 6 calories here. So you have a little bowl of this, you have a little bowl of this, you put them together, bam, dessert for like hardly any calories. And then another thing, I don't have it here right now, but I made this in one of my recent full day of eating videos, which I will link below. It is my Greek yogurt bark, and that is an amazing thing because it has high protein and it's high volume, it's frozen, it's so good, and there's so many different flavors you can make. So I highly recommend doing something like that. And then another thing I like to do is make like fancy protein shakes. So, okay, so you have your protein shake and then you can make it with a bunch of ice, frozen fruit, whatever mix thingies that your heart desires. And then a little secret ingredient is xanthan gum. You can also get, I think guar gum is similar. Again, you can find this in health sections at stores or even online. And what this does is it thickens it up a little bit. So rather than like some loose, watery protein shake, it kind of makes it thicker. So it's like you're having like a pudding, ice creamy thing. So you don't want to put too much, otherwise it gets like a weird taste, or it can kind of like bother your stomach too. But yeah, put a little bit and it thickens it up really nicely and makes it like just different and more exciting. And of course, things like sugary cereal, that's always okay too. I like add those as toppings to some of these things, but of course, just don't go overboard. Take your serving and then walk away from the cereal box. Stay away from the cereal box. Habit number 4 is take 5 to write. So I've been using the 5-minute journal for a few months now, and it prompts you at the end of the day to look back on your day and think about what you could have done better. So maybe you're thinking, why does that help with fat loss? Well, if you're struggling with your nutrition, staying on track, your workouts, anything, what you want to do then is at the end of the day, sit down and reflect on your day and try and figure out why. So maybe it's because of the issue I said at the beginning of this video, that you found yourself out and about, got too hungry and you didn't have food. Or maybe you're kind of getting bored of your meals or you're eating too low calorie. The point is you just want to try and notice the patterns and really be aware of what's happening in your day. So that way, if you're struggling to see results, you have something on record to look back at and you can get a better idea of what might need to be changed. Habit number 5 is beat the stress. So not only does stress release a hormone that can make it a bit more difficult to lose body fat, but a lot of the time when we're stressed, we don't have as much self-control. It's easier to overeat and give into cravings, or even just turn to less healthy behaviors. So when I'm stressed or anxious throughout the day, or even if I just need a little change of scenery, I'll do little quick bursts of activity just to clear my head. So it's not the same as doing like a full-on workout. This is just quick little activity to be like, whew, okay, head is cleared. So some of my favorites is skipping. I love doing just even 3 minutes. I'll do 3 to 5 minutes of skipping, or 10 to 20 minutes of walking. You can go on a slow walk or a brisk walk. Another great one is, like, say if you're working, it's just any type of movement. So if you're at work, you can't pull out a skipping rope, just do some jumping jacks or jog on the spot. Like I said, it's just about moving your body around and just releasing those endorphins. Just make sure you're not doing it right before bed, because if you go for a jog and then you try to go to sleep, you might not be able to sleep too well. And don't forget, stretching is a good one too. It doesn't have to necessarily be a cardio-based movement. Stretching and taking some deep breaths can be really soothing. Now, stay tuned for my next video, because it's gonna be all about how to train around your period. For the last few months, I've been really looking into optimizing my training around my hormones, so I have better energy, better strength, and just can see better results overall. So I've kind of been sorting that out. So I'm excited to show you guys how I've been adjusting my workouts according to my hormones. And hopefully this will help you guys out too, if you find that that's something kind of holding you back or getting in your way. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. In the meantime, check out my other videos that are linked around and below. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!